minutes. 2 minutes, Nico. Nico!
Dang it, I need those. Okay, fine. 10.
Hey, look at the timing on the end of that clip. Way to go, Nico. Oh my god, welcome everybody in all at the same time, right as the countdown hits the bottom. Thank you, Ninja, for the resub. Love me some Bezos bucks. I'll have to take advantage of that. I'm going to have a small Amazon tie-in here in just a moment. And Ricky, thank you for the biddies. That is a nice contribution. Look at that. You get your very own little welcome wave and the knocks and everything. Interesting. It recognizes the bit cheers, but it does not recognize when you lead off with a command. These are important things to know and then not actually bother remembering or caring about later on, but they're good things to know at the time how all of this stuff actually works together. So welcome in. Welcome back to another SnowRunner Mod Edition day, because SnowRunner Season 11 still hasn't been released. I haven't heard a peep in over 2 weeks about it, which is weird. Hey, Ninja. Oh god. Turn it into a race. Thank you for the biddies. So the closest I've heard to a peep about Season 11 release is one of the guys that I follow released a new video that had the clickbait that made it sound like there was some big release information coming, but it turns out he was just doing a playthrough on PTS of where you go to find the cool new, like, 6-8 wheel monster scout truck. And he did that for like 5 to 10 minutes. Probably only needed about 3. It wasn't a very complicated mission, but that's all I've heard. So obviously, it's not out today, so we're going back to the mod map. We're going back to Pine Valley. I know they love to release on Thursdays. I have this horrible feeling that it's going to be a pseudo stealth drop tomorrow, but probably more realistically, it's going to be, the 12th, probably, kind of a mid-month drop. I guess that's fine. That means that their window for getting season 12 out before the end of the calendar year, though, is getting pretty slim if they go that route. Welcome to the internet, the home of clickbait. Boy, are you ever right? The primary guy that I go to for all of my personal Switch news, he is always getting hounded by people for the clickbait that he puts up. And he puts on but I don't do clickbait. Everything I do is true. And then you look at his headlines and they are the most massive clickbait. Usually the way he tries to rationalize that is he's printed the clickbait that other people are saying about the news that he's going to report the correct information about. But that's not mine. That's just me reprinting the clickbait. It is so funny. And then he gets all defensive about it, and it's even funnier. But I like the news and the presentation that he puts together. He does a pretty good job of kind of keeping me up to date on what's going on around the Nintendo Directs. And he actually has a job at a software developer, a game developer now. So he has not quite insider information because the game he's working on, they're not doing a Switch edition, which I find ironic and hilarious. But he's kind of a cool guy to watch. So I pay attention to him sometime. At the same time, people are tuning in. That's exactly why they do it. Yep. That is it. Clickbait gets the views. Drama around the clickbait gets even more views. And it works great for him. So good on him. My what do they even call those? The headlines that go out with the email announcement that about 20% of people who are actually signed up to get those go live notices actually get. It's probably the closest that I've got, and usually it's me just being not sure what the hell it is that I'm going to be doing for the stream. Today I was pretty sure it was going to be going back to Pine Valley, so yay, I came through for myself. The other item of note we got to catch up on here is I've got the sign. It's still running on the batteries. It's a good thing to know that the batteries last for, well, so far more than 6 hours. We'll see if they can go for 8, but 5 minutes before Click and Go Live, my overlords at Amazon have brought me a new box. This box was made to fit my order. You may note here that this box is about 9 times the size of one of those little displays. One of those displays that includes the plastic signage itself. 2 minutes, Nico. I got 5 minutes, Nico. And it says all you have to do is pull here, but as I'm pulling here, the cardboard is actually coming apart at its own seams and not at the perforation. Oh, there we go. So, custom fit just for this. There we go. Recycling's over there now in case anyone's curious. This is going to shock you. These were made in China. Let's see if I have enough finger... Oh, I do have enough fingernail to break the plastic on the tape there. Look at this. I'm doing an unboxing. This is my first unboxing. Congratulations, everybody. Welcome in. We have 2... two replacement USB power cords and 2 replacement light-up bases. Now, the downside to these is that they are a nice solid white. Wow. They're a solid white, whereas this one over here has a nice kind of textured cracking. So, the box comes with 2 of them. One in the box, one out of the box. I think what I'm going to do, for science initially here, wait, I need this remote to turn this one off. Okay, got it. I'm going to extract my signage from the original. I am going to place it, let's see if I face it this way. Oh, it's a tough fit. Hang on, I gotta bite my lip in order to get this in. Wow, that is so close. I may have to file. No, wait. There we go. Boom, got it. Almost, sort of. It's close. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this goes. We're doing it live, everybody. So if it's a complete failure, I will just go back to the battery-driven one for the moment. Let's see. The little one goes in here.
Wow.
Wow. There we go. Little one goes in there. Sign balances precariously right up there. This plugs into my old-style USB port, and boom, we're up and running.
Sometimes I amaze even myself.
I know, this is amazing, right? And look at that. It's going through the color rotation. If I dig in here, it has its own remotes. Okay, I'll get that in a second. No, these couldn't possibly have come from the same place originally. Okay, now that I know it's actually going to work, I can place that a little bit better up there. It's daylight, so let me pivot this so that it doesn't pick up the glare quite as much. There we go. I wonder, does this have batteries already in it? No, it does not. Oh, okay, I know why. Hey, look at that. Yeah. Little clear plastic to protect the batteries. Boom, we are off and running. We're off to the races, everybody. Let me dump that back in that box. Let me take the old remote and toss it over there. So, my consideration for future is you can remove the little rubber feet off the bottom of this dude here. I'm thinking about maybe replacing the guts so that I get the cooler outer package. Because among other things, this is the tiniest little bit wider than the one on there. This one I didn't have to do the hammering to get the sign to go in. Oh, hey, we're going to break it in. Whatever color to match the first truck drive. Okay, that is fair. Let's see. I'm maybe doing a quick check on the Syrinscape folks. They are headed for Dwarven Forge today, so I don't need to wait up for anybody. Let's flip over to the game here. Now, I have virtually no memory of what I was doing last time because it's been a couple weeks thanks to the birthday show. Let me grab the Steam Deck, so I've got the controllers over here. Those are the contests. I'm not ready for the contests. Repair the helipad. I need concrete slabs going to the helipad. The helipad is right there. That seems good. Concrete slabs are back on the other map. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is figure out which truck I'll drive first so that I can color match it. But step one, gotta find, okay, so the concrete slabs, yeah, they live there. They've always lived there. They're fine there. So do I have a truck sit? I've got the Party Zix. Where's the Party Zix? Party Zix is sitting right there. I think that's the fueling Freightliner. He's too far out, and he's not rigged for it. So, hey, thank you for the lurk, Mrs. Jedi. Let's get back over here. So I've got... Oh, yeah, these guys are already set up over here. They're set up over here with the trailer. He's got all the good stuff. And he's got the trailer. So we are going... okay. Well, we're going to this one who's got a whole bunch of colors. Brown isn't really an option on here, which is kind of sad, actually. I do have... That's a terrible orange. Well, I don't want to... That's full red. That's kind of orange? Maybe if I just... What kind of yellow is that? That's decidedly green. There. that looks like a yellow. We're going for yellow to match some small component of this truck. Thank you for the color redeem, Nico. Let's see now. We got some beacons. We got some headlights. Let's see about getting us a trailer, and we're going to go grab some concrete. I'm almost positive that I did not intentionally... Oh, I'm positive I did not intentionally select this mission for Carl. But I don't know how it came about choosing this one, but at least it seems reasonable. And it doesn't involve any logging, so that helps. Get out of the way, truck. The big bad needs to come through. Do not believe I have any fuel resources staged along the way, so see how far we get. I do have the Rezvani sitting outside. Yeah, I think he's sitting outside the garage, acting as my fuel mule. So we got backups. We got stuff ready to go. This is not the fastest vehicle I own, but it is also not the slowest. Pretty sure the Party 6 would end up being quite a bit slower. Oh, this one is for Carl! I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have to find a way to change this up, because you're right, it is for Carl. There's really no excuse for it to be Carl at this point, unless I'm actively playing DRG. So yeah, any others, it's officially now for Carl. Because to the best of my knowledge, Carl does remain dead at this point. I honestly don't know if they're going to find a way to magically bring him back. I do feel as though that would be a little disappointing. I think it kind of disrespects the sacrifice when you just turn around and resurrect someone at the end of the big fight that they'd sacrificed themselves for. But I guess I'm a purist or something, or grouchy old man shaking fist at clouds. I don't know. They're probably all accurate. This is all this truck has. Theoretically, I could try going for some of the speedier transmissions on these. I almost always end up going for the off-road or the snow runner transmission, just so I get the good low gears. Although this one doesn't have a good low gear. I don't know what transmission this one's running under. This may be one of those... Oh, that's interesting. This may be one of those where I didn't have the transmission option because I messed up the New Game Plus settings and forgot to give myself access to unlockable items. The stuff you normally have to discover out in the world in some of the earlier maps. But on a mod map, you don't have access to the earlier regions. So I think a lot of these trucks are kind of locked into which gearboxes they have. Yep, D, all of the above is the right answer. Oh, that is awesome. I had a professor in college who loved multiple choice. So there was usually your typical A, B, C, D were nice answers. Then you had like E, F, and G were combos of 2 of the prior 4. And so yeah, D, E, F, G, and then there was like H and I that would be triplets from the above. And then there would be a J that would actually be A through D, but there was never an all of the above, because then that would imply all of the subsets too, which technically could still be accurate, but this wasn't a math professor. Although he did teach statistics, so he could have been a jerk like that. It's been a long time, I don't remember. But I distinctly remember tests where your multiple choice became multiple choices, and the choices went through J. Let me get everything turned back on, because it turns everything off when you change regions. There we go. Every time I start this up, I keep wondering, why do I not have my baby, the Tega, my 100% fallback truck? I'm pretty sure I did set this... Oh, I know why. I did set it so that you can buy Russian trucks, even though this isn't a Russian region. But the Tega is one of those that you have to go and find on the Tamir map, the third map of the original base game. And I forgot to turn on auto unlocks, so I don't have access to it. It makes me a little sad. What's wrong with that professor? Well, by now I can guarantee you he's dead, so that's probably wrong for him, at least. I know a lot of people in the class that would not consider that a problem, though. I passed the class, so I don't really have any complaints. He was the professor at the University of Colorado who invented noon classes. Apparently, prior to his tenure, they never had class between noon and 1 so that all the students could go and have a healthy, nutritious lunch in the middle of the day. But he instituted 12 to 12:50 classes. And that was just the beginning of his reign of terror. He was also famous for throwing chalk at students who would dare to sleep in his boring-ass classes. So that was always fun. Unfortunately, being well, at the time, electrical engineering major, I think that was before I'd switched to electrical and computer engineering, which was all long before I just downshifted to computer science and screwed the whole electrical engineering part. But I was EE with a math minor going, so statistics class was really easy. Which is why I passed that class, because if you went into that class not being an uber math nerd, there was uber math you needed to figure out, and he was horrible at that part. If you already knew the math, then the class was really trivial. Okay, bring it on around. There we go. We're doing really good about not burning fuel badly. Sounds like he was an angry old man. There was no grumpy about it. And he was one of those that fell into the category of, he's tenured. I guess it's impossible to ever do anything about him. Oh well, and that was kind of the school's policy. Boom, we're off and running. This is a good mission for being chatty on here, because it's mostly paved, at least until we start getting back to the helipad, because I think that's up a hill somewhere. I would have broken his hip on accident. Well, you could certainly have tried. That probably would have been rude. Probably would have accidentally failed you in that class. You know, probably. Combined with the fact that I'd assume you probably would have been, I don't know, like 5 at the time, so the accident might have taken a little bit of work on your part. I have no clue how old you would have been. But definitely younger than you. And I was only 7 in college, so I guess that makes you 5. He couldn't have failed you if he couldn't get up. Yeah, back then, you're probably right. He would not have had a smartphone to have a panic button built onto it to auto-fail all the students in his class in the event of his murder. Because that's totally something he would have were he not already dead today. Because, among other things, he would still be teaching, I guarantee. Up until one of his students murdered him. Which is disturbingly common anymore as well. Sound cut out, but it came back. Still don't know whether that's the Windows version of the game running on the Steam Deck losing its sound, or if it's just all these HDMI cables I have running around through the capture card. And by the time it gets to the TV/monitor, it's lost audio source. think I freaked out about it last time I was streaming this, actually, and someone confirmed that the sound actually did keep coming through, so it's probably just the connection to the monitor. This amazing monitor that has its own built-in speakers, but the volume control doesn't actually control the volume. Pretty sure I've brought that up at least once a month. The volume can be set anywhere from 0 to 100. At 0, it's muted. At 1, it's kind of quiet. And then 2 through 100 are all the same volume level, that are all a little too loud. And over to the next map. At least game audio doesn't have a mind of its own and double S. Oh, yeah, well, luckily, I got started. I fired up OBS early just to double check things because, I haven't touched anything since the last time I streamed. And all of a sudden, these headphones that I've got running through the mic, 100% dead. I could see the audio report in the VU meter in OBS, but the buds themselves were just flat out dead. And it took me a little while of hunting through there, and it's a Mac thing that I've run into from time to time where it arbitrarily decides, you know what, it's time to mute that audio output source. Just, 'cause. And the way I run it in the system here, I've got a multi-output setup so that I've got one will route to the headphones, one will route to a virtual cable, and the virtual cable ends up going into OBS. And when I'm in multi-mode, you are completely locked out of all volume controls, which is what makes it always so interesting that it's somehow found a way to mute itself, because I never set the microphone to be the pure output source, because I would never listen. If I wanted to listen to these headphones, I would just plug them straight into the computer, and then it would automatically cut over. But every so often, it just decides, no, I want to mute this one random audio source, and then not say anything. And when it's this one, it's in a position where I can't just casually go look it up, so I have to start my troubleshooting routine, which eventually leads me to trying to just drive this set of headphones purely by themselves, which I never do. And hey, look at that! The volume slider is set to 0. You know why it's doubling? Oh, you just can make it. Oh. Yeah, now I have had that happen, and that was an OBS thing where I had copied the sound source to multiple scenes, which is why it has copy reference, so that they're all really just one source. But every so often it decides, you know what, I'm going to make them copies of instead of reference to. And even though that other scene isn't active, I'm still going to play the audio. And so, yeah, I've gotten doubled from that before. Who we have? Hey, Alex, welcome in. It is Wild Jedi Hour. Actually, it's Wild Jedi 2 hours, come to think of it. Mrs. Jedi and I might have an appointment at 7 we need to get to, which means my regular stream time, 4 to 6 Pacific, is still on and stable, but I will probably have to bail right at 6 in case we go. She has been dealing with some internship matters. Well, I'm going to say today. She's really been dealing with these problems for weeks now. So she may end up having to actually work late, which means we won't be able to go and do the thing at 7. It's not an overwhelming, well, it's not a secret thing either. I live in the Pacific Northwest on the Ring of Fire, so the threat of a variety of natural disasters is always omnipresent. So we were going to go to a presentation that would probably give us information about emergency preparedness that we already know about, but this one was going to give you a free backpack full of the cheapest possible, like emergency aid supplies, which might have been kind of cool. But on the other hand, they were going to be the cheapest possible emergency supplies, so probably not worth bothering with those anyway. So we might go, we might not go. It'll kind of be a 6:15 decision. Thank you for the hydrate. Who is that? Oh, XC. Hey, welcome in. Coffee Monkey should remain on duty through next spring now. It was actually a little warmer today. Current temperature, 68. Almost nice. Pushing 70. It needs to hit 80 before I need Captain Phasma to come and relieve the Coffee Monkey with water. But I did get up at a normal time this morning, so the good coffee has already been consumed. So we're going to let the coffee monkey do his thing. Let me get this. Wait, did my... Oh, hey, did my beacons not turn on? Oh, God, I was so unsafe. Good thing I stopped. Google Pixel 7a. There was a question, I'm guessing somewhere. Oh, okay. New phone. Oh, hey. I gotta back up. New phones. Sweet. Okay, now I'm caught up. I caught up in reverse chronological order. I've been interested in a Pixel. I have been interested in... Do they call their tablets Pixels as well? Or is the Pixel tablet actually go by another name? I would like to get a newer Android-based tablet. I've got a Nexus that's old. Technically still runs, but it's old. And I have a not too old Fire tablet from Amazon. Hey, Vicky B! I hear it in my ears. Oh, there we go. Okay, now, and that was XC getting the knocking from actually typing in there. You can expect a lot. Nearly everything except icebergs. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised. Normally, I would tell you, hey, at least we can't get a hurricane. But technically speaking, the West Coast hurricane, we did get rain dump from it. We didn't get storm like most of at least Southern California. But we definitely got... Speak with an Aussie accent. It's really weird. I can't really explain it. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I saw the not like this kid showing up for a second. My bit rate is solid. I have 0 dropped frames. I don't think I've ever seen that in a stream, so that was just Twitch being Twitch. But looks like we've recovered. Whew. I'm going to put my readers back on because, man, there's a lot of text there going on now. Holy shnikes, that's a big... Oh, yeah, there you go. Let me pan it around. I'm hauling concrete slabs to repair the helipad. Because there is some uber-rich dude that lives on the hillside overlooking the race course. He probably owns the racetrack, I'm going to guess. And I guess his helipad is busted, so he's going to fix it. Okay, got to redo your scenes fully to redo the audio again. Yeah. I remember you dealing with that before, Ninja. And I remember that was the solution at the time, was something had gotten so screwed up in OBS that rebuilding scenes was kind of the only way to go. I am taking a look at kind of redoing some of mine. Once the whole employment thing has resurfaced itself, I've got a lot of icons, a lot of emotes, and I'm thinking about getting some more scenery to go around. I like this tavern thing. If I could talk my Pathfinder players into actually being excited about doing some Pathfinder live streaming, it would be super appropriate to that. But so far, it's hard to get them to buy in on that. Super Tanker, fill you up. Back over we go. Look at that quick pit stop. That's NASCAR level pit stopping right there, Bubba. But I wanna get something. Actually, I want to get a couple somethings. I definitely need something truckable for this game, obviously. This Azov should do really well through the mud, so I think I can get through here pretty safely. And then that's a bigger road. Maybe I'm going to get to this junction that I've got picked out over there, and then we're going to decide. I'm thinking I'm going to go through the mud. I know most of the trucks that I've got will not do the mud because I don't have the cool components unlocked, so no one... I think I've got off-road tires, and some of them have mud tires, but not all of them. And some of them have poor all-wheel drive. Yeah. Let's see, so you gotta do scenes. Mom used to tell me how North Vancouver Island got hit by a tsunami in 1964. Now, tsunamis are definitely a real thing. Mrs. Jedi and I, we love getting to go out to the coast, all up and down the Oregon coast. We've actually made it down into Northern California, which is kind of weird because I grew up mainly in Southern California. So, Northern California is a fake place. But yeah, you're totally safe from tsunamis here signs that they've got all over the place, which come after the you are totally not safe from tsunamis here as the highway goes up and down. They are everywhere along the coast. So sooner or later, a tsunami is definitely going to splash down somewhere along there. Sneaker waves are what you got to watch out for constantly. So let's see, what do we have before? Never played Pathfinder. Oh, that is your loss. Or it's not. I don't know. I don't care which games people play. I really don't care which editions people play. Some are definitely better than others, but I'm not going to say which. But right now, my yum is definitely Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I think it's the way... Oh god, there's trucks in my ear. Thank you very much, Vicky B. But yeah, Pathfinder is my jam right now. I actually play that twice a week. And then I am a player in a different game. Supposedly every Sunday. It's kind of working out to about every third Sunday right now. But we're gonna see how that goes. I've loved me role-playing games since I was a wee tot. I think it was second grade when I got started. So, yep, I made my living in the role-playing industry for 4 or 5 years. It was awesome. I loved it. I got paid about a third of what software engineering was paying me at the time. But that was actually the previous time. The only other time I've been laid off from a job. That timing worked out perfectly, that I just self-employed, went into the gaming business with a couple of friends. And then a handful of years later, once I realized I was not going to ever make enough money off of that. Pro tip, kids, you were never going to make enough money off of the role-playing game business to actually fully support yourself. Depending on how you want to live, I suppose. I couldn't. So yeah, I reached the point where I decided, you know what, I was going to have to get a day job again. That is also the point where Wizards of the Coast was going to make their big move to 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons. And in an ironic counterpoint to the satanic panic about D&D from the late 70s, early 80s, that's when Wizards of the Coast had their electronic panic. PDFs were going to cause them to lose all of their business, all of the money, and go bankrupt. So they locked down hard on all of their electronic properties, which meant my company was pretty much screwed. There were some things that we could have done. We could, in theory, have become what is now D&D Beyond, but we couldn't do them at the time. The 3 of us were dysfunctional at that point, so even if we had the technological know-how and the drives, the motivation, everything we needed to pull it off, we didn't have the cohesiveness as needed. So, nope, that was doomed. So I went ahead, I had to let that go, and I really haven't been back in since. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's see, I'm just going to park here on this hilltop for a moment. Oh, actually, this is the intersection that I want to do my planning at anyway. That's handy. Let's park up here and stop the engine real quick and bring up the map while we decide which way we want to go. I'll catch up here. What's causing it is desktop audio. Got to find a way to change how that gets captured. Yes, that is why I have my virtual cable running, so that my Rogue desktop audio just filters off into the ether, but the stuff that I want running to the desktop, and this gets weird because I'm on a Mac, it still looks like desktop audio, but it's actually running through the virtual cable. So I have to run different things different ways. Should be simpler and more straightforward if I was running it on Windows, but I'm not, so there you have it. Although I'm getting closer and closer to the point where I want a really good Windows gaming machine to play some really good Windows games. Since they finally released Baldur's Gate 3 for Mac, it is amazing how well that game runs on this Mac. I honestly didn't expect it to. I figured if it ran half to 2/3 as nice as it does on a Windows machine, that would be great, which is still probably going to drive it too hard for me to stream it from the same machine. But I've got that thing running at all the ultra settings, and it looks awesome, and it is smooth as glass as it runs. I'm sure it would still choke the machine to death if I was to try to stream it. I'm also, 6 to 8 weeks behind the rest of the world in streaming that particular game, so I'm probably not going to bother. I also have all the nudity turned on, so I probably can't stream it anyway, but I'm not going to bother with that one. But yeah, this machine actually does play a lot of things really well, but there are a lot of games that they just don't do the Mac port for at all. Cyberpunk, I'm actually kind of interested in now. After that disaster of a launch, I didn't care, but got some friends who play it. They say I love it. I'd love to play Starfield too. That one, maybe I could buy an Xbox Series machine for that, but I think a really nice PC would be nice. Then if I can do that, I can go whole hog. And then the really nice thing is that my super pretty microphone here, it shows up a little bit with the colors. You can make the colors dance if you run their Windows only software to make it do it. On Mac, the microphone works perfectly fine as a microphone, but the colors are kind of static in their animation. They work kind of like this dude does when he recycles his colors there. So someday I'm gonna have to move there, but first I need a job again. Day jobs are totally overrated. Technically necessary. Let me go back and catch up here, and then we're gonna get back to the map real quick. Tsunami was from a 9.2 earthquake off Alaska. Yeah, a 15-footer. I know after what ended up getting the Fukushima, it made its way over to this side. It didn't really generate waves. Well, technically there would have been waves, but they would have been little ones. But it did cause the junk to circulate across the Pacific Ocean all the way over here. So, there were piers and boats and other things that were getting deposited on the Washington and Oregon coasts from their 9-point whatever it was. Played the original 3-book set, then BECME, AD&D, 2E, 2 sessions of 3E, and then a little bit of 5E. Yeah, I've always loved D&D. I'm not playing it now. Honestly, I'm not even 100% certain I could tell you why I'm not playing that one. I just know that Pathfinder, I've always been interested in it because actually the original first edition Pathfinder came out at the same time and for the same reasons that my company went under with our contract with WotC. So that I've always had a certain kind of kinship with Pathfinder. And then when 2E came out, that really sparked me to going down to my FLGS and running a Pathfinder night. I got every other Tuesday, I got to use their back room to run games for anyone who wanted to come show up. And unfortunately, that started about 8 months before Corona lockdowns came in. So I got to do that for 8 months. And then 3 of the guys that were in that gaming session who came pretty frequently, I got a hold of them and said, hey, you know what? We can't use the free space down at Rainy Day Games, which, sad news for anyone who's lived in or around here, the Rainy Day Games name is gone. They were bought out by Guardian Games when their original owner decided to go as a game maker full-time. So Guardians own them for a couple of years now, and they finally pulled the plug a couple of days ago. Rainy Day Games is no more. They're now Guardian Aloha, which is weird. I still don't know why it's not Aloha, but I also don't know why in Nebraska the town of Papillon was called Papillion all the time. So there's a lot of things I don't know. Let's see, can't wait to read my memoir about crazy Kookaloos. No, I'm just going to tell my memoir on stream constantly, bits and pieces at a time. Lots of repetition. Get used to that. Can't get rid of desktop because you got the music on stream. That doesn't go to the... Oh, yeah, okay. So you've intentionally made yours as complicated as I have to run mine. So, yeah, there you go. But you don't know how to get rid of it. Well, that is a bummer. Some pay good money for that. Choke machine to death. Yep. Pick of your 3-book set. And the first 2 basics. Yeah, I've still got all of my Redbox stuff out in the garage. We're not going to talk about that subject. It has nothing to do with boxes that have remained boxed for a period of time. But we're not going to talk anymore of that. Yes, it was Rainy Day Games in Aloha. Now it's Guardian Games Aloha. It is sad. Thanks for stopping in, Streamlabs. Someday I'll turn that off, but not today because I don't want to have to remember anything. In that odd mall where the other side has a Franz Bakery, that Franz Bakery closed up shop about 6 months ago. It's not there anymore. The little awesome bookstore next door to it. It went out of business early in COVID. They actually leased it out because the owner of the building has got to be leasing stuff for pennies at this point. So they've leased it out. That is their new gaming area. It is slick, but as a I assume at this time lifetime masker, I haven't actually gone to play anything there. But I have been in the building. I'll go in for my 15 minutes or so with the mask. It is awesome. It is so nice that they have a completely separate area so you can actually do some shopping in the main store while all of the 12-year-olds playing their Magic and their Yu-Gi-Oh! And me shaking my fist at the clouds can go be in the other portion of the building. Or if you're playing any sort of Star Wars miniatures games, you have nice giant tables for playing that on. They do a couple of Warhammer sessions per week that I think are also really good. What about the other friends? The Friends Bakery in Tigard, that's their main one. That is the one that's still open. It's a lot closer to where I live anyway, so that's the one that we go to. Anywho's. So yeah, Friends is still around. It's just that one store. Oh, I see a reference to Twilight 2000. Oh, I love Twilight 2000. I've got at my feet. You know what? Screw it. Hang on. I'm not driving anywhere right now, so let's go back to this. At my feet, I'm going to scoot my camera here so I can reach around. Well, first, I've got the Zelda cookbook. That's leaning against it, just because I haven't put that anywhere else yet. But I have my Twilight 2000 4th edition Urban Operations box set. And then, I'm stretching. Oh God, this hurts. I'm old. Behind that, I have my T2K Ammo Box Kickstarter edition. And then I've got all of the virtual tabletop versions of it and all the other stuff. I have loved Twilight 2000 since 1.0 was brand new. Let me grab the Steam Deck back over here. So yeah, I keep T2K with me at all times for this purpose. I also have the PDFs installed on my phone and on my iPad and on the 2 currently active computers that I run. They are everywhere. And I have a Foundry. Yeah, I've got a Foundry table set up on my Forge account that I'm constantly trying to talk my Pathfinder players into signing up to play. I've only got one of them interested so far. The game actually does have its own built-in solo mode now, so technically the 2 of us could play. Crap, I gotta shut the stream down so I can go play Twilight 2000. I kid. Let me come back over here to the game here. So let's see. What about okay, we did that. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I forgot Pokemon. I don't ever forget Pokemon because Pokemon isn't really a thing to me. That doesn't exist. That came out way after I had already deemed myself too old for Pokemon. Although I've got a certain appreciation for the card game. I don't play almost any of those trading card games, collectible card games. I do play a fair number of the living card games from FFG, although that's largely slowed down because with the sellout to Asmodee or Asmodee or whatever the hell they want to call themselves, they completely gutted Fantasy Flight. I got almost nothing from them anymore. The Arkham Horror LCG is awesome. I still go with that one, although they've almost completely stopped putting out content for it. I did their Marvel game for a while, but it reached the point where, oh, look, more superheroes. What the hell am I going to do with these? So I've stopped collecting that one. And then they redid the Lord of the Rings. So I got their new repackaged core set because I didn't have any of the older ones. And then I think they repackaged one of their 6-deck cycles as another box set, which is how they're going forward with the Arkham Horror now. I got one of those, but I kind of trailed off on that one because I don't have that one. It just doesn't sing to me as much as Arkham Horror does. What year did Yu-Gi-Oh come out? I thought Pokemon's been around for quite a while. Oh yeah, I had Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. They did a couple of games, GDW did back in the day that all used that same system, so you could mix and match them to your heart's content, making some really weird combos. What was the? There was a Martian one too that used that same basic rule set. There were a lot of them. I also loved the Dark Spirits, Dark Skies. It was Dark something. It was all, it was basically X-Files stuff before X-Files was really a thing. I'm getting so distracted by awesome games from the past year. I've decided I'm gonna go this way around because I think the road is a little more improved over here. It's gonna make pulling that trailer a little easier until I get to this little nasty network of switchbacks. And we're gonna see about pulling our load up to there. Yes, Dark Conspiracy. Thank you. That was it. I love that game. They made one accessory that was this big board game that, technically speaking, was kind of a crappy game, but I loved it. I loved it so much. That's another one that's in one of those boxes out in the garage we're not going to talk about. I wish I could go find it, though. The hard part is making room. I made inroads on the stuff that needed to get unboxed and brought in at one point, and then quickly realized that I didn't have proper storage solutions built inside the house to really accommodate them. So I made a good chunk of inroads, and now there is a ton of crap sitting around all over the place, cluttering things. I can tell you, I can guarantee you right now, Mrs. Jedi is taking a mid work cycle nap of some sort because she's not busy yelling at what a disastrous mess I have made downstairs into the chat. So I got to work that out. What I need 3 5x5 Kallax shelves. If I can get those into my man room, then I could start sorting the stuff that is already in there, get that all in place, and that would at least allow me to bring in my massive remaining collection so I could get started on the unboxing there. And then one of us needs to have a serious come to Jesus with some of the stuff that I've got. Luckily for me, more of the stuff that I don't really know, that I don't think it's going to Marie Kondo me, is more of the recent stuff. You know, especially at the beginning of COVID, where I needed more self-entertainment. I was buying a lot more games and stuff there, and I bought some games that were probably pretty questionable that I'm pretty sure I could go ahead and get rid of. Unfortunately, right now they're tied up in those piles I was speaking about downstairs, so I need to basically just take over the entire basement level. For record-keeping purposes, our basement is actually about 15 feet above ground because we live in what is... Realistically, it's a stilt house, but with the walls built all the way to the ground so you can't see the stilts, but that's really what it is. So yeah, we have a huge crawl space underneath that I don't want to risk putting anything in, because at one point we had mice down there. We brought in mouse murderers who murdered all of them, and they sealed up all of the known access points, and we've never seen any signs of anything since then, but I'll never forget. We had ants once when we lived in Colorado, and we got rid of them with the first treatment. They never came back again, but we kept paying for exterminator services for years after that out of sheer paranoia. So I don't want to put anything down in the dirt-floored crawl space. Technically, I don't think you're supposed to anyway. I think being the Pacific Northwest and all the humidity, you're supposed to keep that kind of evacuated and have some sort of a vapor barrier down there to help prevent mold and stuff. And I'm pretty sure stacking hundreds of pounds of crap on top of all of that probably defeats the purpose. R.I.P. numerous Jerry's. Like Germans? Is that what we're talking about here? I played the T2K computer game on my Apple II. It was a terrible game. Talk about a bug fest. I don't know if it had an end game or not. I certainly didn't get there if I did, but I certainly explored the crap out of a couple of cities that seemed to have story threads through them, and then lots of spaces in between, and fighting a bunch of stuff, but I loved the game, but it was terrible. And yes, now Car Wars I played on my Apple II. I did win that game. I got all the way to the end. And recently they re-released a version that I think was basically kind of built-in. It had built-in DOSBox. So Steve Jackson released it, I believe, for $1 off their website, where you could buy it and it would run on modern game systems. So I have that one too. I haven't played it again to the end, because I remember You know, it's an early to mid 80s game, so it has some weird user interface to it. Didn't remember exactly what that was, but it was hard to play, so it's one of those I'm going to get back to, though. It plays on the Windows virtual machine that I have installed on this Mac, so I can play it without having to boot up a Windows machine. Oh man, if they put it on Steam, I could run it on the Steam Deck. That would be fun. Oh, okay, Tom and Jerry, so you weren't just being a German racist. Well, that's good to know, Nico. Let's see, the Car Wars video game, Road War 2000. Oh, Interstate 76, and it was either a sequel. Did they do Interstate 77 or 78, or was that just what would now be known as a DLC add-on? But yeah, I played those with John Delancey doing the voice of the bad guy. Those were cool games, too. That's one that I remember I had to do a lot of work on my computer to get it to actually run. It's been long enough. I don't remember exactly what I had to tweak, but there was some serious tweaking that needed to go on to make it go. But when I got it running, I was so happy and proud of myself. And then I played the snot out of that game. Yeah, well, it's now duplicating your PS4 audio. Hey! Oh, good God. Do you have Bluetooth set up? Maybe your PS4 is treating your computer as a Bluetooth headset. Finding a way to get the audio to your desktop. And you have had so much problem with your audio. Oh, you got it at 76 on GOG. Yeah. Connection failed. Oh no, well, it's a good thing no one had joined yet. Well, so there is a join code down below if anyone's bored, but sounds like it may have just booted me out. So, much like my Mac just occasionally randomly deciding to set audio output sources to mute, every so often this Steam Deck decides to sabotage my Wi-Fi settings. It doesn't delete them, but I have to go in... Oh, okay, everyone be careful here. Everyone be cool. So yeah, I have to go in to the desktop mode on the Steam Deck and effectively rebuild my Wi-Fi setting. Even though the data in there all looks correct, my best guess is that what it's doing internally is it's screwing up the stored encrypted password. So when it tries to decrypt, it has nonsense junk. And so it can't connect anymore, and so it gives up. So that's a possibility. But then on the other hand, this is also SnowRunner, so you know how genius their network connectivity can be. I did see a post from them recently, not talking about Season 11 and release dates or anything, but mentioning that, yeah, they know that the connectivity is a tire fire. Sorry about that. We're working on it, we promise. Which is, what they've said for years. Ooh, wait, I'm going backwards. Low gear. So let's see. You have to have PS4 audio. Oh, come on. FML. Well, congratulations on getting automated. Normally I rely on Tonka to come in and get that done. Ooh, wow, look how steep we are here. Okay, let's set a brake. Let's get to winching. Good call on this billionaire here to go ahead and build his heliport at the highest point on this very steep mountain. Can I pivot back the other way yet? Oh, nope, but if I turn hard to the right, I'm getting traction. There we go. Oh, hey, look at that. I actually made it. Cool. Oh. Fill my love. I know that's not what you're really thinking, Nico. But luckily Tay isn't here, so we don't have to get graphic with it. There's a point of interest. I should go look at that. First, let me take these glasses off so I can do my delivery safely. Oh, look, he brought his helicopter in. Oh, and then his helicopter went away? Wait a minute. Okay, so he had a helicopter there, and he wanted this repaired. So, okay, makes sense, I guess, that he flew his helicopter away for me to do the repairs. Oh, hey, look at that, XC. You got in, even though I lost connectivity. Congratulations. You're a network wizard. Tay would make it much worse. Yeah. Okay, you know why. Good. You just have to completely change the audio setup. Yep, that I am familiar with. This is a mod map. I'm going backwards in time here to catch back up. So there's the VOD thing. And you got your 2 tracks. Yeah, I have not gone to the extent of trying to filter out, VOD versus live, because I've got enough complications already just because I'm running on the Mac, so I haven't bothered trying to multi-track all of that stuff. I have a suspicion that I would spend as much time and give as much trouble as you've been running into if I tried to do that to myself. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of squares up here I've never bothered to get to before. Oh, hey! Oh, the billionaire owns a mountaintop resort up here. It still looks like it's in pretty good shape. We definitely need the helipad operational again. Let's start there. Congratulations, I've already done it. And then we have another delivery point over here. This looks like some sort of place that wants to be built. And there's a pool. A pond or a pool. Pond would be good for you. Okay, let me take a look here at what I've got. So this still draws the chopper on the helipad. Oh, no, wait. I'm in Repair the Helipad Part 2? This is GR Enterprise. No, so what was the other mission that I just did? Whose helipad did I repair before? Oh well, it doesn't matter. I still really like this map. I love that it's got all of these tasks and contracts and things. So that's good enough. I guess I'll just do this some more here. So let's see. Where do the service spare parts live? Service spare parts are on the other map, as is the cargo container. Okie dokie then. Let's see. Going downhill will be less technically troublesome than coming up did. However, it does mean that I got to go back down that steep hill and around those corners with the trees and such. So I got to keep an eye on my rollover counter. Oh, there's XC in the garage. I'm going to come this way to refuel. And then I am going to head out back to Pine Valley to go collect cargo container and 2 service spare parts. Those should all fit on this trailer just fine. So yeah, I'll go ahead and work on Repair the Helipad. XC, you are free to work on anything else that your heart desires. I have no real emotional driver on any of these missions. When I do my regular officially provided DLC seasons and things, I play all those solo, just so that I can get every single experience out that I paid for all of those. But on the mod maps, I've got no real hidden agenda. Just driving around in the forest, checking out their maps. Oh, that was actually easier coming down that hill than I was afeared it was going to be. May need to winch to get over this little hill again, but that's okay if I need to. And in case I didn't bring it up since you joined XC, I do have a hard stop at whatever the next hour is for you. For me, it'll be 6 p.m. Pacific. You can do your own math from there. I won't know until about 6:15 whether the appointment that Mrs. Jedi and I have at 7 is going to really happen or not. So I need to be shutting down at 6 just so I can be ready. If it turns out we're not going, though, then there are a few of my stream-related things that I keep threatening to actually go deal with that I think I will have the time to actually deal with. I've done a couple. Typically, I've been getting at least one a week, so every other stream I've gotten some fixes and some repairs and some stuff in. I know for the weekend, I got Vicky B's custom intro. Anyone else, especially if you've been around for a little bit, anyone else wants their own custom walk-up music for when you first join, let me know. I can see about getting that integrated. Right now, as long as you're not a bot, you get the knock, 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 and the general, hey, welcome, thanks for joining message, but I wrote my own bot to kind of keep me busy while I'm unemployed. So I got my own bot that does custom greetings and things, built in some of my own custom sound effects. For the birthday stream, or was it the one right after the birthday stream, I also added the new one just for Nico and KDP, the specialty graphic that I think KDP likes more. Oh, okay, you're in BC then, good. Hey, I was just up there repairing some electrical damage from a storm, and repairing a couple ferries. Wow was a permanent keeper too, by the way. I love that one. I love 2 minutes. For my own personal taste, I love TAC Nuke. It's a little loud compared to the others. I probably should adjust that a little bit, but I'm not going to because, it's a tactical nuke incoming. It's supposed to be loud. And we finally had that one instance where it was kind of appropriate to what was it, Sea of Stars? Or was it Unmetal? One of those two. There we go. I don't think this has the big bad mud tires, but it's got the off-road tires that do well enough in the mud. So yeah, this truck still keeps going. I know there's others that I was trying to do the logging with ended up relying on the party Zix to pull them through the mud and then the actual water bit up here. I think it was Sea of Stars. One of the bigger bads was about to pull off its custom move, and it was gonna fire fire from the sky. You know what? We're just gonna go straight through. We're following the tire tracks here. Sometimes it's a trap. Sometimes it's actually the best way to go. Since this is a mod map, who knows? I'm gonna give it a shot though. I'm making it through. I got plenty of fuel to make the time to get back to the giant 5,000 liter fuel tanker to refuel. Hey, Jedi Greeters, still on call. The one thing that I've looked at updating my bot to do is to try to give me a little heads up when Twitch decides to, every so often, it just decides to kill its authorization to be connected to the chat, which is fun. I would like it to be able to give me some notice of that. Unfortunately, the only way it knows that's happened is when its authorization has been revoked, which means it can't chat. But what I can have it do is an actual audible alarm. So nothing will show up in chat, but I'll hear it in my headphones. Which is pretty much why I've got all of my redeems set up with some sort of audio component, so that when I miss them in chat, like I always do, I'll at least know that those are coming in. That will be something that I will add tonight if I don't go to our emergency preparedness meeting. I will probably also then be on the hook for parting together an emergency preparedness pack off of like Amazon. Getting the pack off of Amazon and then getting the stuff to go in it as well in my shopping cart, as opposed to buying a pre-made cart, which always has all of the junkiest crap in it. The stuff guaranteed not to help in the event of an actual emergency. Move to Pine Valley. Technically speaking, I could dump this trailer over here somewhere and then just recover back to the garage on this map, retain over to the garage on the other map, and then buy another equivalent trailer on the other side and do the delivery. But since I didn't go crazy with the New Game Plus, I actually have a limited amount of cash to work with. So we're just going to go ahead and drive this on over. That still leaves me the ability to be a little extra chit-chatty as I go. If I drive myself off the road and into a ditch, as long as I don't roll it sideways, I can pretty easily get back out. If I do roll it sideways, then I just gotta go grab the Party Zix and bring it on over. Pull me upright. Getting close to pavement. Let's see, what other stuff am I looking to do? The big one that I'm going to shell money out for is going to be a bit of another graphics overhaul. I've been using most of this stuff for close to a year now. I think it's held up well. I really do like the whole tavern look. And the animation on it is good. I really do like that. I do have the capacity for generating my own WebP files, which seems to kind of be the preference. Technically, you could run like an MP4 if you wanted, but I don't know why WebP is particularly popular, but it is. But I can make one, so I could generate my own. I've done limited amounts of animation. I've done a couple of projects. I've done a couple actual professional projects in Unity, so I've done some levels of animation on things. I have zero hand-drawn talent to speak of, so I could do a little bit of stuff. I'm going to lose a little bit of concentration here as I do my refuel. So I can do a little bit of like 3D modeling and then animate stuff in Engine in order to generate some backgrounds and stuff, but just drawing like a cartoon version of something is definitely something that I can't do. The tavern itself, the kit that I bought, has this scene pre-made. It also has a completely clean version of just the background scene with none of these frames or anything on it. And all of the stuff like that cup and that cup and all of the panels down at the bottom are available individually. In fact, I used one of the individual ones to put my rollover counter there. So I can build my own framing. So when it comes time to do a Pathfinder stream, I can build my own that actually has some sort of spaces for for players to go. I don't believe for a second that I would really ever get any of my current players willing to say, yeah, I would love to be on cam on a stream. I think if it happens, I'll get them to say, yeah, I'm cool with my voice. So I'd need, small portrait areas for character portraits, probably. But I do have the nice big rectangular frame, so I could do video, should that ever become an actual thing. And then I can build my own layouts, and I've got plenty of layout experience, so I can do all of that. But I would also like, like a truck stop diner or something to kind of go with the tavern theme, but something a little more appropriate to snow running and mud running. Expeditions is what, next summer, I think. which is getting closer. So sometime in the next 8 months. Wasn't really thinking about getting quite that high pitch, but it is a serious question on my part. So it's, yeah, 6 to 8 months until Expeditions is out. Definitely going to play the crap out of that game too. I will miss the big trucks like this, but I think some of the stuff that they've added in will make the scouting a little more enjoyable, as opposed to my current experience with scouting, which typically means bouncing so violently that you end up upside down, and then you use your autonomous winch and then you continue on your way. That becomes a little less fun with time. I think they've put a little bit of refinement into the engine, kind of tuning their mud to better accommodate the smaller size and weight vehicles. And then some of the fun new gadgets that they've added in to make the experience a little bit different than just truck and cargo. But I would like a little something to accommodate that. Something kind of modern like that will sort of help with a bunch of my other Saturday streams, where I do the semi-random Switch game, whatever happens to appeal. Definitely going to have a lot of sci-fi stuff going in that, so kind of a fantasy, sci-fi, and modern scenes that I can build off of. And I finally reached the point where I broke down and I've got multiple pages built up on my Stream Deck. Those all seem to work pretty well so far. So if I go to page 2 real quick, boom, I can fire off a steam horn. So building a separate page per theme would be a kind of a nice way to build that up. Something else I might do today is, right now I'm only set up to do 2 pages. So I've got one with a forward button and one with the backward button. I really need to get the bi-directional buttons, so I need space for 2 on my current page 2. So I gotta do a little bit of customizing with my Stream Deck setup. I've also got the Stream Deck app on my tablet up and running, but in the free version you only have access to the 12 button face. Is it even 12? Yeah, I think it's 12 buttons instead of the 15 button like I've got. It's 5, yeah, I've got the 15 button one. If you pay them a little bit of money, they'll unlock the full. I think if you pay them a little bit of money, they'll unlock the 15 and is it the 25? Or maybe it's 24. Maybe it's a 3x8, or it's a 4x6 for 24. There are a couple. There's one larger physical version, and you actually get both of those when you fire up the paid version of the app. So I've got an extra separate page over there. I'm kind of tempted to make that one my Sirenscape, my Sirenscape trigger. If I went ahead and paid them, I don't think it's more than a couple of bucks, and I don't think it's a subscription. I think you pay once and it just unlocks it. So I could have good stuff like I have to have the focus there. So boom, I've got my Sirenscape button set up for those days when my good buddy Dan Servo raids in from the end of the Sirenscape chat show, to be named later on Wednesdays. I've got, well, at the moment I have 12 sound effects, 1 party mood. That was for the anniversary stream, actually. Fire that up. That's still on there. Crack open that beer and then have a cyberpunk party is actually what this came from. Oh crap. I'm unsafe. There you go. I'm safe again. Oop, I gotta do that. There you go. Okay, now everybody's back on. I have one button to stop all sound effects, and then I've got the one that throws the Sirenscape logo up. Just Chattering, good enough name? I think they actually did intend to give it a name after the first couple of episodes, but it's like software development. Once you've got a temporary fix in place, it's a permanent fix. So I think they like the Sirenscape chat show to be named later. So they're definitely going to stick with it. So yeah, I'm going to double check how much that costs. For a couple of bucks, I might go ahead and unlock it just because it gives me one extra source. Now, once I do have the man room set up downstairs, that is where the intention is to go ahead and move Broadcast Central. So we'll be leaving Butter Couch, and that will give me an opportunity for a chair stream. I do have a nice chair down there. I've actually pulled it out of that room because I don't have enough room to place stuff in there anymore.
I want my $2!
I want my $2. I want a lot more than $2, let's be fair. Oh, hey, I am driving in the opposite direction of the arrows because that is how I roll. Speaking of temp names, was it an art stream and she forgot she had Lorem Ipsum in the chat bubbles? Oh, hey, by the way, have you seen this yet? Woo! Fireworks! That same Mac update that kind of screwed with my personal settings, my machine settings, also added that stuff in. Boop. Oh god, that's so much stupid fun. I need service spare parts as long as I'm here. Oh no, I need a cargo container when I'm here. That's what I'm looking for at this one. Cool, there we go. Cargo container. And then service spare parts. Are they down at the factory? Oh no, they're back at the garage. Oh, okay. Well, I know where that is. I think I've left my stream title down that way. I think I've left it as an old one, like the first 10 minutes of a stream one time, but I haven't been too bad about getting that stuff corrected as I go along. So yeah, the title and the currently active game. I think I've left the SnowRunner join code up for one of my, what was that? Metroid Prime Remastered. I think I had my join code added there for a while, which of course meant nothing in that context. Most people probably didn't even notice it, but it was still kind of funny. But I did have the Metroid logo over there as my death counter, so at least I got the rest of that set up correctly. I've got the one button that'll hide the whole thing, but not just the join code. So I want to go through. I want to optimize some of that stuff a little bit. I also had a really good dream 4 or 5 days ago that laid out exactly how it is that I want to go about restructuring how my local bot is running its sound effects, how it knows which ones are ready to go and what they should be. And by loading everything dynamically, that will also allow me to add in a, like, I don't think I want to use exclamation command or commands because Streamlabs uses that one. I'm just Streamlabs and or Stream Elements. So I don't want to conflict with that. So I got to come up with a good name, but something that'll allow you to enter in a command that will show you all of the sound effects that I currently have loaded, and then down in that About section where it lists all of them that I currently have. I won't have to bother maintaining that anymore. Someone can just every so often, when they're interested, hit the command and it will spew out a big old list of commands right there in chat. And then at the same time, that will also allow me to load up that special treat that Triggerfire has that lets you tie multiple sound effects to be chosen randomly to a single command. Like the horns and the trucks. The ones that are still on the redeem, I think the ones that I still have set up to redeem are all of mine that are random selections, with the exception of for Garl and Rock and Stone. Those are still singles. Those I still have out on Triggerfire. Mainly because I want the fun button down there, the fun button with the color and everything, to sit in that redeem spot. I really could just make those local stuff as well. Triggerfire also does. Triggerfire does the video ones, the static images, like Sirenscape and Creepy Guy. Those are just JPEGs out on trigger fire, and it'll pop those up on command. But it also has a couple of the video redeems that I've got. Those I need to figure out how to run locally. I think the key is that I need to get my local bot set up to work as a web host. And then add a new web page source that just looks at it. But then I got to work out the details on how to get, screen positioning and make sure that audio comes through and do all of that stuff. I don't think it's hard, but it's stuff that I need to do some research into, and then that's where the whole free time thing totally falls apart for me. Hey, look at that, providing your own icons, Nico. Way to go. Technically, I really added the command just for KDP, but KDP also has access to all of those emotes. So. I think the one that I have set up at least puts your face out there a little bit bigger than the emote wall does. And to your relief, it only does one of them. And I think I've got it set to only 5 seconds worth. Could set it up so when you first join chat, it just automatically throws you up in the corner. Like you could just sit, let's say, like right over here, over my shoulder, for the entire stream. I don't want to do that. Does it really need to be bigger? It needs to be full screen. It needs its own scene. And I'll flip over. That's the scene. It's your face plus the microphone input, and that's it. So I'll just keep talking. Everyone will stare at you instead of me driving trucks around in the rain. For those keeping score at home, I'm almost to the garage over there where I can pick up these last 2 cargo bits. And then it's back to the helipad to repair it, I guess. There's the little farm building. Next up on the same side is the trailer store, and then the garage. The other side has the gas station. For XC's benefit at least. I don't know why I set the gas station to charge you for fuel, but nothing else does. There, you can just come over to the other side of the street, buy a fuel trailer, refuel from it, sell it back off for the full price, and then be done instead of paying $2 a liter over here. But whatever suits you. I actually have found myself paying for fuel a couple of times on the other side of the river over yonder. There's really not much else going on over there, so I had to pay for gas to get out. You know what? I turned early. I was a little worried, and then I didn't flip, but it did go terribly bad. So at least I feel like I paid for it. If we just feather the gas, we actually turn a little tighter. Still not sure I'm going to make the whole U-turn, but we'll get close. Boop! Okay, I need 2 service spare parts, so I'm only going to have 15 left. Now, come with me everyone, back to the helipad. This time we're going to mow down these trees instead of getting caught on the culvert. Yep, we are cargo loaded. We are ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at us. I don't know what we're ready for. I guess it's fine, which will alienate your audience. Well, I know, and that's why it isn't doing it yet. I do reserve the right to completely change my mind without sabotaging myself. But I can't help when KDP comes in and decides to ugly creep bomb the stream. That just happens. Unlike Sandwich, I ain't going to ban anybody for it. I encourage you to be terrible, I think is my biggest problem. You know when they ask you in interviews what your biggest weakness is? That's it. encouraging people to be their worst selves. Also, interesting side tidbit, in the handful of interviews that I've had over the last month and a half, not one single person has asked that stupid trite question. I think they've kind of finally gotten over it. They are much more about the, tell me about a time you've had this kind of difficult situation in your work and how you resolved it. And I've got dozens of those stories because I'm old and I've worked for a long time now, so I've run into awkward situations a lot, and I've never been executed, so I've found a way to work through all of them. My biggest weakness is just me. That's it. Whole thing. Yep. KDP will be the first to agree with you. I won't, because I'm not that mean, unless you're on like 100 Years stream playing along with him, and then I am legally obligated to let you have it with both barrels over there. I don't know how that law came to be, Nico. I would apologize for it, but it's the law. I have no say in the matter. It has to happen. There's still things that need delivering over there, and I don't even know which contracts they are, because there are a ton of contracts. My nose is itching the hell out of me today. I will apologize for squeezing my honker so much, but it is acting up. Oh yeah, 100 Years early. He does seem to love that from the very first moment. I'm glad you come across as being good-natured about it when you are off stream. I would eventually, I would start to feel guilty if you are actually crying in private all the time. Oh my God! Speaking of urgent sandwich, my friend is now online. If I was cool about things, I'd probably turn those announcements off when I'm streaming, but I'm not cool. I mean, if you've been around and you've watched me this long, however long this long is, you already know that. But that's fine. I even have my Switch notifications turned on, but I've only got... do I have 8 friends on Switch? I might now. Now, granted, one of them is me, my Australian account, which really means 7. 2 minutes, Nico. Oh, I got 2 minutes. Yeah, if you've been watching me for at least 2 minutes, you know. I love that one. I am so glad you clipped that one. I am so glad that you then pointed it out to me, and that it fully includes at the end, because everyone knows that's just me, imitating the truck horn right before. And everyone deeply respects that. Everyone is obligated to deeply respect that. Or else. Okay, we're finally getting somewhere. Now, I do recall one of my other trucks with the highway tires could not pull this hill on the pavement in the rain with a load on the trailer. But I believe we've got the good off-road tires on this one. So they will not do it fast, but they will do it. Oh, thank God. Swing around the corner. Nice paved hilltop there. No one has to get their stupid, stubby little legs caught. And back to the other map. Cedar Ridge? Is that the other one? Is that where I'm going? Yay, it's Cedar Ridge. I remembered a thing. I want fireworks for that. Oh, and I want a fanfare. I'm trying to remember to use some of my buttons a little more. Hey, there you go.
For rock and stone.
For rock and stone. Oh my God, and you want me to hydrate at the same time? For Garl. Hey, hey, hey!
For rock and stone!
For rock and stone! Okay, you get horny, Nico, while I bring out Coffee Monkey. Ah, nice lukewarm coffee. Perfect. It's kind of just like my mom always made, and I say that because my mom almost literally has never made coffee. She's always been a tea gal. For the record, not flavored teas, just like Lipton. Just, well, as I was growing up, it was just Lipton, just plain Lipton. But my modern day mother is a little more cultured, I guess, now about that. She actually takes some of the English teas. They still have very little, if any, flavor, but they have more than Lipton always did. And it's always fun to share some PG tips when we go to visit my mama. Make sure I'm all caught up. Okay, you got all the horns. I got one hydrate in there. Okay, I am off. I am running. Let me give you the steam horn again. I love the steam horn. Oh, this is that good haunting one. That's a boat. La 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 la. Honk. Yeah, okay, you still got all your cargo. Here you go. I'm gonna be a little different. I don't normally drive in this mode. In American Truck Simulator, and European Truck Simulator for that matter, this is my distinctly preferred mode for driving. It's first person. But in this game, it's third person. I don't know exactly why. I'm gonna guess that part of it is because you really can't tell what sort of obstacles you've got back by your rear wheels in this mode, unless you do one of those to lean out the window, but you can't see out the other side. So navigating all of the really rough terrain is definitely easier in third person. But then why that doesn't translate over to me just naturally wanting to drive ATS in third person as well, I don't know. Maybe I like the dashboard on my truck? I really should. My real jam in ATS should be driving an International, because my long-time story about owning the sequel to the Scout 800 from SnowRunner here, the Scout 2. So I've got International Harvester blood in me, but I've never actually gotten to the point where I can afford and am in any location to buy an International in ATS. I've ended up kind of pouring my money into upgrading the Kenworth that I've got instead. Just put that on my long list of things I would like to someday do that acknowledge I probably never will. I mostly play ATS right now for a window of time after each new state is released as DLC, and then kind of drift away from it after that. Where is that waypoint back there? I know I'm going in the direction that I want to be going, so I just don't know. I don't know where I thought I might have been going once upon a time. And I missed my Taiga. Taiga. I still don't know which one is correct. I hear both. I hear Taiga more than Taiga at this point, so it's kind of the one that I lean toward, but I would say in any given stream I probably use both at one point or another. Let's go ahead and sidle on up here again. Oh, hey, cool. Okay, that's when I was going to leave this map to go collect the cargo, and apparently I put the waypoint just beyond where the gateway actually is, so I never triggered it. Okay, fair enough. It's nice and deleted now. That's that hard pull. I think we may have actually left the engine running the whole time, so I didn't have to restart, so I won't have to adjust my lights. Horn. Yep. Okay, those are... The beacons are still going. We're still safe. Lipton brand tea. Is that the flavor? Not as much anymore. She does have Lipton on hand, but PG Tips and Builders. I believe she will get both of those now. I think those now are common enough that you can get them where she lives. There is one of the Kroger-based chains that she will generally shop at. So by virtue of being Kroger, even though it's one of the very much smaller ones, it's kind of like QFC is to Fred Meyer, if you're in the Pacific Northwest region. It's still Kroger, but it's the smaller original company that got bought out. So yeah, she lives near one of those. But because it's Kroger fed, I believe they'll actually carry at least one, if not both of those, from time to time, if not all the time. And with modern access to Amazon, she lives way out in this remote mountain valley where U.S. mail will not deliver there, but interestingly, UPS will. Amazon Logistics will actually drive all the way to her house, unless you get one of the crappy drivers that goes to the nearest post office and attempts to leave something there like it was addressed to, Postmaster General. Even though that's not how that works. She's got one driver that sometimes does this. Luckily, the town is so small. It's literally one of those everybody knows everybody else. So she knows the postmaster and several of the postal employees that work right there. So they actually will hold the item for her to come get. There is one of the more new employees there that is a gruff by-the-book type who will not stand for that kind of baloney, and that often causes problems. But otherwise, it can be dealt with. And then FedEx is, FedEx. They actually spend more of their time driving the thing around between, Denver and Colorado Springs than they actually do delivering anything ever anywhere. Here's my soapbox for the day here. Ever since quarantine started, the business model that FedEx maintained has just gone to living hell, whereas the UPS model actually has held up and improved a little bit, which is shocking to say, but it actually is better now than it used to be. Not saying it's great, but it has improved. I wonder if I can actually... I can't get there this way. At some point, I'm going to have to stop to winch something. I can auto winch from this view, but, it's SnowRunner auto winch, so... Not even God knows where that winch is going to throw itself out there, too. Actually, I take that back. I know exactly where that winch is going to go. It's going to grab one of these tiny little trees, like the one right there in my grill. It's going to pull it out of the ground, and then from then on, no matter how many times you throw that winch back out again, that's the only thing it's going to latch onto. And it is going to pull it all the way up to your grill, and then you're going to disconnect it, and you're going to throw that winch out again, and that winch is going to go 4.3 inches to grab that stupid branch lying on the ground, and then you're going to have to go to external view, because I don't think you can choose a winch destination from this view mode. I haven't tried it much, so if it comes to it, I'll try it, but I'm pretty sure you can't. But also, I do not have one of those redeems that locks you into a view mode for a given period of time. Largely because, I'm going to grant, those are funny when you lock someone into a view mode that you know they're not comfortable in, at a point where you know it's going to become an issue. Miss Silvermoon. But for the most part, I can kind of get through a bunch of this stuff. Although that would be one of those exceptions that you'd have to make. If I got stuck somewhere and I had to winch out, and you can't choose a winch point in this view mode, and all you're getting is the useless winch, then either you sit there and do nothing until the time expires, or you, just long enough to winch, go back to the other view mode. Well, we are still not fast, but we are still moving through the mud. This brings us joy. And because I'm playing on the Steam Deck instead of the Switch, I'm actually getting much better graphics. Once it goes through the stream and through Twitch, I think it's still coming out. Do I stream it? Do I max out at 720p still, I think? I know the best the capture card does is 1080, which is what the Switch will export as long as you're docked. So on the other end of my stream, it'll probably be close to exactly the same, but for me, it looks a lot better now. Because it's actually doing full textures in 1080. And I know the Steam Deck will drive a full 4K monitor. It's driving it in 4K mode, but my understanding from a little bit of technical reading and from a couple of people who've been kind enough to volunteer information in chat, we think it's actually doing a 1080 export, but then it's upscaling it. You know, doing some clever tricks in the upscale, but still just upscaling it to get to 4K. It's interesting to go look up as what its actual native resolution is. It's possible it could be doing something intermediate. You know, like if you go ahead and call HD 1K, it could have a native like 2K, and then it upscales that to a 4K, so it actually does still look a little bit better. But on stream it would be close to unnoticeable. But I would also not be surprised if the textures themselves in the Windows build have a little bit better look to them. I do know that when you get into the slightly post-rain mud, light mud but not heavy mud, on the Switch it gets this real plasticky look to it that I haven't seen on the Windows version here. So there are definitely going to be some under the hood optimizations that this one benefits from. Yeah, look at me, I'm still in first person view. Could almost make a habit out of this. It'll go any winch way it wants to. I'm giving you credit for that one. That one actually, as a connoisseur of dad jokes go, that one was pretty good. I've been promoted. Oh, that's right. That's because XC is actually still out there somewhere doing work in the drink. I'm sure that was a pricey job. Well, congratulations on cleaning up a mess and being awarded a new vehicle. That's entirely... the A&K is actually a pretty good truck. I don't use it much itself, but I do know several people, and I think Ninja is actually one of them, who will almost swear by it from time to time. Congrats on my promotion. Promotions call for fireworks. Okay, there we go. That turns it back on. There we go. Promotion. And I'll turn it back off. Let me take a break. Oh, hey, I am now max rank for the game. I started myself at 20th rank just to ensure that the stuff that I would really want, like a lot of the tires and the fuel frame, so I could make a fuel truck, those all unlocks usually by like 6th to 10th level. So I started myself at a 20 rank just to be sure that all that stuff could mostly be unlocked. And then just operating within the scale. Let me make sure I didn't miss a turn. I did miss a turn. I thought I might have right there. Okay, we're going to come out. We're going to come out of that view mode right now because we need a little bit of strategy at this point. I think I got a little too close to a tree back there. So let's try this. Let's try this over here. That's better. There we go. Straighten out before you go to a tree on the other side. nope. Turn back a little bit more. It's a good start at least. We are eschewing realism, and we're going to try to just push this trailer right back up that hillside over there so that we can get turned around here. If this was a real trucking scenario, and I'm using my finger quotes there for real, it would probably be a lot easier just to go ahead and back up to this turn point. But reality's for suckers! So, yes, anyway, I've actually managed to make the climb from 20th all the way up to the max of 30th rank. And it feels like I've only put a dent in the stuff that there is to do on this map. So, more credit to the map author. I think he actually put enough XP out here. You have a good shot at actually making it all the way from, you know, an original base, whether it's 0 or rank 1 start, all the way up to 30th by the time you complete all the tasks. I got burned by Krokodilsk with its 0.0 XP available. Me starting at first level, never being able to put anything other than highway tires on a truck. Gave myself the money trailer mod so I could buy any truck that I wanted to, but I had to drive it with highway tires. Oh man! Oh, sorry. I forgot to be in this mode. I actually didn't need the winch. I could have made it, but I ruined it. Oh well. Congrats and promotion. Oh damn it! I'm looking too late. Which one? What? Also, my hand is starting to go a little numb from holding the gas pedal down this whole time. Which? Damn it! Which truck? Which? In Krokodilsk? In Krokodilsk, you start with the Voron, which is actually a pretty good truck. It earned a bunch of my respect for what it was able to do on that map. After that, I bought a bunch. I did bring in my Taiga. Well, yeah, Ninja, you helped me work on that map a little bit early on. Where I think I had my Taiga. We both had the trucks lined up with the giant 8-slot trailers. But I could never put decent tires on mine, and I think you brought a good truck with good tires in on yours, so you could get around a hell of a lot better than I could. Boom! Delivery! Boof! Look at that, we put the chopper back on. Oh, I gotta come out of this view. Can I see? Oh, look at that, we did put the chopper back. Congratulations, helipad's repaired. What a change. You sure did a good job here. Now we can get the customers here in style. 20 grand and 1800 XP that I no longer have any use for. 10 minutes before quit, repaired. Oh, hey, thanks. It is back at the garage. That's perfect. That's where chances are I would probably end up just recovering it there before figuring out what to do with it next. And oh, hey, you got a good point. I am low on time here. I managed to complete a task right before I got to be done for the night. There's a bridge. Nope, logs were out. Let me see if there's anything extra quick I can do. Hey, thank you for joining in, XC. It's always awesome to have extra people driving around out here. And big surprise to everybody, you didn't have to come rescue me. I'm getting a little bit better every time I play this. So, okay, that's where oh, yeah. That's where the long logs are. And then that's the mud that none of my long logging trucks can actually get through. There's the Freightliner. And there's the Res. Okay, so the Party Zix is over at the garage on the other map. Got it. That's the Ford that has no capacity to drive anything and did exactly as expected when I tried putting it through the water. That one is good. I did, in case you weren't here at the time, I did end up relying on the Party Zix to cross that shallow enough piece of water to get the truck that was stuck over here. And then it turned out that truck wasn't really part of the mission anyway. It was just a truck lying there that I could have. I had to use it to flip your Azov twice, but the third time just left it and towed the A&K back with it. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, that all works out. Hit the... Oh, yes. That's exactly... this is the only map where I have been able to flip the party Zix. And it's because the combination of those ramped stumps, and there are also, on that first map, there's that big fire break that runs up to a watchtower, and it has these really steep and really weirdly cross-angled slopes on that actual fire break road that shouldn't be that way. If Sabertooth had made those maps, they wouldn't have been made that way. But because it's a mod map, it was built non-standard for SnowRunner, which gives it the benefit of being weirdly extra challenging, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I managed to flip the Zix twice, and I think the exact same spot, because it wasn't doing the physics I was expecting it to do. But then I've managed to flip almost everything else in all of these other places. There is also one spot, and I believe it's right there, where there is an invisible wall of stones or something that you just can't get in, over, or through. It does all kinds of damage to your truck while you try, but you have to go around it in order to actually navigate beyond it. It's a weird anomaly that's got to be just like a mod map thing. And I think there's one that's kind of like it over on the other map that actually is a higher inclination toward flipping. Let's see. I do need to get out of here with this because I've got the good trailer. So since I've got a few minutes left, I am just going to go as far as getting this back off the mountain, because that'll make it a little easier for me to deal with next time I stream this. I am back to being super hopeful that Season 11 will be available by next week. If that is the case, though, I would be willing to put money down that it would be released on Thursday instead of Wednesday, so I'll probably be doing this map again next Wednesday. Beyond that, there's also a decent chance that it may not release until the week after that, so I may be doing 2 more weeks on this map, which works out just great because there is so much to do on this map. This is the first time I actually went all the way up.
2 minutes, Nico.
2 minutes, Nico. I got exactly 2 minutes, and then I got to get the hell out of here. So yeah, this is the first time I've been up to this little hotel with the helipad. So I know that there are other places that I haven't been to yet, so I still have content awaiting me. It's actually why I look forward to Season 12 so much when they do the full 4 maps instead of the little 2-map dealies that they've been doing. I should be able to get a bunch of streams worth of content out of 4 maps worth of stuff to do. As long as they don't add any stupid farming. Farming's so boring. I think I did the first one on stream just to have done it on stream, but I think I did all the rest of the farming off stream just because it was so boring. And weirdly enough, it actually induced the highest level of swearing in me, because they intentionally lined up those miserable damn fields with the trees and the poles and the water and all that stuff in the way, and made the turning radius so bad on those tractors that you couldn't just... Yeah, I tried to do it Zamboni style, where you do a nice big oval circle. You go up one side, down the middle, and then just go in one step to the left or right as you go. Tried doing that, and that ended up being the best tactic I had, but they always put stuff on the ends of the fields so that you then had to make really awkward long turns to get around it. So incredibly frustrating. And then you get all of the damn trailers that developed the hitch bugs, so you couldn't connect to a trailer anymore, so you had to abandon it, which also made I couldn't even hook it up to go sell it, so I had to toss them in a river and go buy another one. And the OCD in me really got pissed off at that, because I like to keep my grounds clean when I can. Let me see. Let me put the old readers back on. Ooh, you got food in the oven that was ready 45 minutes ago. Well, that's okay. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfectly heated now. I have got 14 minutes left available for me to go figure out what I can grab from the fridge to eat real quick, because I'm not sure if refreshments will be served at this event or not. In case they aren't, I may need to grab something now. Let me take a quick look over here. Let me see who we have got up and streaming. You don't happen to be on, do you, Ninja? Or you're too busy fighting audio issues. 100 Years Early is on. Disney Speedstorm. Who the hell do I know does that? I know 2 people doing Disney Speedstorm. Maybe they're playing with each other. House 50. No, this is... Oh God, this is all terrible. These are all terrible. It's spoopy season. We're painting random Reaper miniatures. That's the gaming side of things. Otherwise, the Glass Cannon Network, but they're in the middle of something. It's kind of weird to raid into them. I tell you what, it should line up quick and easy. Let's go just take a look at SnowRunner in general. Spasimus Prime. Oh, hey, look, there's me. Do I know anybody? You know what? I don't. Screw it. We're gonna call an abort here since I'm running out of time anyway. I have actually made the achievement on Twitch for doing 100 raids of at least 2 people into someone else's stream. I managed to pull that off right before my anniversary stream. I was pretty proud of that. So I don't think I'm under any legal obligation to have to raid anybody more. So you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to. Screw all those people. It's what they deserve anyway. So instead, the pretzel station that I picked today is labeled Hard Dance. I've never heard anything quite as bubblegum poppy as the song that it was running on the lead-in. So I think it's going to resume with that same song. So out of irony, I'm just going to let it keep doing it. So I'm going to play you some music. I'm going to send you to my end screen. I'm going to wave goodbye to you all. And I will be back on Saturday. Probably Sea of Stars, because we have some Garl vengeance to seek against the robots. And maybe we'll actually finally someday get to go back to our home realm. Or not. I don't know how this game's going to end. We'll see. But I will see you all again on Saturday. So, bye.